The Nigeria Consumer Credit Corporation, Credicorp as it's called, have signed a memorandum of understanding with the National Youth Service Corps (NYSC), which will empower our NYSC member with the credit facilities of up to 200,000 naira per individual. Tag Youth Credit to enable eligible corps members to access a single-digit interest loan of up to 200,000 naira. Of course, the initial budget for this program is 9 billion naira. Don't forget, the president did mention this during his June 12 national broadcast to the nation. Of course, it's more like keeping to that promise. Let's put some perspective into this. I'm being joined now virtually by Emmanuel Atama. Emmanuel Atama is the Executive Director, CEO, National Cooperative Financing Agency of Nigeria. He joins me virtually from Abuja here. Good morning, Mr. Atama. Mr. Atama, are you there? All right, Mr. Atama is joined on the show by Dr. Kingsley Ayozie, who is an accountant and, of course, a financial analyst. He's joining us from Lagos. Good morning, Dr. Kingsley.
Yeah, good morning, Trust TV.
Good morning. Glad to have you. Let me start with you while we wait for Mr. Atama to reconnect with us there. Of course, the Credicorp was launched by the federal government. Give us your assessment, overall assessment of this corporation or agency, rather, before we go into the partnership with the NYSC.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. The Nigerian Consumer Credit Corporation is an agency that is saddled with the responsibility of providing credit facility, especially to the Nigerian populace, individuals to be precise, and the interest rate is usually at a very low rate. The whole idea is to actually motivate the young ones to go into production and contribute meaningfully to the socio-economic of the Nigerian state. Thank you so much.
Indeed. Talk to us about what you think about this partnership between the Credicorp and NYSC, of course, which will provide, credit facilities to core members. What do you make of this partnership? How far do you think it can go?
To me, it's indeed a welcome initiative by the federal government of Nigeria in collaboration with the Credicorp. The only area I have reservation has to do with implementation and strong management of the fund, because one thing that is very paramount is for you to have a lofty idea. Then another issue is to ensure that that idea is well implemented, especially for the overall interest of the target audience. One good thing about this initiative is that this fund is meant to provide a soft credit facility to the core members, the youth. And the essence of this fund is aimed at improving their lifestyle. Apart from improving their lifestyle, it's also meant to provide an affordable credit facility to the youth to start up business during the service year. So it's not a case of waiting till after the service year, you now begin to say, I don't have jobs. So within this period, you're able to nurture a dream, follow it through, and allow it to mature within the next 12 months. So it is indeed a welcome initiative by the current administration, especially looking at the target audience. We are looking at over 400,000 core members accessing a minimum amount of 200,000 naira. So it's a welcome idea.
Indeed, a welcome development. Let me go back to Mr. Emmanuel. I hope he can hear me now. Mr. Emmanuel, CEO, Executive Secretary, National Cooperative Financing Agency of Nigeria. Talk to us about our credit culture. That is the area I'm more concerned about. We have a not so good reputation in terms of credit culture. And of course, the proper utilization of fund when it is lent out. What do you think will make this new initiative different?
Thank you very much. Good morning, all. For me, it's not all about giving out credits. It's about how do the people get qualified to take the credits. because I speak to you from the cooperative perspective. Cooperative credit system is developmental in the sense that it builds the person's capacity to save money before you can take credit.
Okay. Okay. All right. Mr. Emmanuel. Okay, Mr. Emmanuel, continue along your thought. Go ahead. Go ahead. We can hear you loud and clear.
Yes, if people save before they can take credit, then it will be much more better in the sense that once you are giving out that credit, you already know that they have already made contribution towards the credit they are taking. So once they take the credit, then we know that they have made contribution towards it. And then when they have finished paying the credit, they have also built their capacity to take more. So this concept of just giving people credit for the purpose of giving them credit to go and do business, and at the end, you discover that they don't have that savings culture whereby they also contribute to the credit that they are taking. So I believe that we just have to put the cooperative way for our youth core members that have been given this opportunity by the Credicorp. We just have to use the cooperative model. Let them save from the little stipends they take as a monthly allowance, and then from there they can now advance their loan facility and see that they have built some savings. So even when they finish their service, they can have something to fall back at. But this model of just giving them credit without putting them together as a cooperative to build their capacity, we just need to adjust on that. Thank you.
Indeed, a lot of adjustment to be done. Before I go to Dr. Ayozie, you spoke about not just giving credit, it should be properly done or even channeled to a particular maybe business or whatever the case may be. But my concern is the management of this fund, given our history. I mean, do you think a time will not come where we will start calling on EFCC to probe this credit corporation or this relationship that we're seeing with the NYSC? Mr. Emmanuel, that's for you.
Okay, thank you. The issue, that is why I spoke about the issue of cooperative, because the NYSC is an institution, and the persons that have been programmed under 1 year under the NYSC is also reporting under an institution. So I strongly believe that if NYSC can have a cooperative whereby those that are under youth service can belong, and then give them opportunity to stay in that cooperative for upward of 5 years after service, and through that they can save money, they can take loan, and then after graduating from the 5 years period, they can opt out if they are not owing any credit facility. Because when you are giving money like this, there must be a place where these people are hooked up to. And if you give out money like this and they leave the service and the money is not fully repaid, how do you get them to pay back? So I believe that NYSC, in doing this, should set up a cooperative for core members. NYSC is doing very well under the SIDE program, where people learn various skills and trade. So I believe that they should also adopt the cooperative model, so that through that model, the NYSC members can do little contribution, take facility, because the major problem is that when they finish their NYSC, most of them become confused, particularly when there is no absorption by the offices where they have served. So, but if they are into cooperative and they have learned skills and they are doing one business or the other, and this credit becomes a continuous thing, they know that in the next 5 years, they can still continue on it. So some of them can save more, take more, and then they can also create a sort of market around them whereby what they produce or the services they offer can be offtake by people around them. We believe that once they become a cooperative, we integrate them into the cooperative movement of Nigeria, whereby there will be networking, there will be cross-fertilization of idea, and the cooperative movement can even serve as a way of taking their service or of taking the product they have done. But what we're talking about is that let there be an enduring effect in whatever they are doing. Thank you.
Indeed, very important. Dr. Ayozie, you listen to Mr. Emmanuel there talking about proper management. Of course, given our culture, let me ask you the same question. Given our credit culture, do you think this fund will be properly managed and utilized?
Thank you so much for this question. If you recall, when we started this conversation, I raised my reservation vis-a-vis proper management. But on a second thought, I took a holistic overview of the target audience. Who are the target audience? The National Youth Service Corps members. These are, to me, quote unquote, elite, different from the man on the street whom you have been giving funds. These are people that have passed through the 4 walls of the tertiary institution for a minimum period of 4 years and above. So I don't see them playing to the gallery, unlike what has been the trend. So I expect a positive dimension from this arrangement, with emphasis on the fact that the target audience has to do with the National Youth Service Corps. It's not an easy thing for one to attend a university, because part of the training you are being given there is to also mold you both in learning and character. So when it comes to financial discipline, when it comes to all of these issues, those things have been inculcated. So it's different. It's a different ballgame when you're looking at artisans on the roads or the woman on the street. These are intellectuals. So I do not expect them to misuse the fund, except from the hands of the handlers. That's why I have my reservation. For the core members, I know that the future holds so much for them, so they will be able to implement and put good use of the fund being given to them. That's my take on that.
Indeed. Still on that, Mr. Ayozie, don't you think the core members may also see this fund as part of their own national cake? A share of their own national cake, maybe? Dr. Ayozie.
Well, if you look at the features governing this fund, a digital training facility. And the essence of the training facility is also inculcate the virtues of financial discipline. I don't see them seeing it as a national cake. Again, if you also look at the amount involved, this is a short-term measure, 200,000. I'm not saying that 200,000 is not much, but if you compare it with the monthly take-home of a core member, which is about 70,000, so it's as if the government is giving them a consolidated 3 months allowance ahead of time to make do with out of the 12 months. So it's just one fourth of it. So 25% of your annual allowance is what the government is giving to you. So I do not share in that thought from my own perspective.
All right. Mr. Emmanuel, let me come back to you. The amount, like we said, is just around 200,000 Naira there. Of course, what kind of business now can you do with 200,000 Naira, given the current challenges we have in the economy, where the business environment are not so friendly? What kind of business can core members who are, fresh out of the university do with 200,000 Naira, given our current economic situation and, of course, the value of the money as well? Mr. Emmanuel, take it up from there.
Thank you very much. That is why I recommend that the core members that will benefit from this scheme are those that are under the skill acquisition program of the NYSC. When you go to their camp, you will see this category of core members doing one trade or the other. Some of them, even after leaving the camp, you see them continue with the trade that they have learned from the camp. So it's not just like a general call for everybody to come and take national cake. And then in that wise, you will see that other core members that are not involved in this will now start taking interest in it. And then through that, we'll be able to see how more will be mobilized to do this exercise. A holistic analysis of the sum given to them has to be made, because if the funds are not sufficient for the particular activity they want to do, it also becomes a challenge. They will spend the funds. So there is need for the skill acquisition program that the core members are doing on camp to look at what sum is good enough for a particular trade to jumpstart, and then see that it is given to them, it is properly monitored. And that is why I said people that are being given that facility should be allowed to work within the time frame of 5 years, not in terms of repayment, but to say that they can belong to that group, which must be a cooperative driven by them, monitored by NYSC. And the NYSC can go as far as keeping their NYSC certificate with them until they are properly exited. Okay? So measures must be put in place to make sure that the funds are okay. Measures also must be put in place to make sure that people don't run away with money. But as far as I'm concerned, the sole determinant of whether the money is okay or not is based on the particular skill the person has learned and the particular trade or business the person is getting engaged with. So I cannot sit down here and say whether the money is sufficient or not. But another thing again is that we have to learn to start small, because while they are at service, they cannot go out for full-scale business. So the issue is learn small, start small. And then the next thing we do is to see how we can have an organized market for them, whereby products that they are producing can be off-taked by particular cooperatives. I know that where I operate from in the FCT here is a hub of MSMEs. And each time we meet, you see MSME bringing spices, bringing different type of products. And we, who are same cooperative people, are of taking it from them. So I believe that a holistic analysis should be done before this program starts in NS. Thank you.
This holistic analysis is very, very critical for us to get this program started. Mr. Ayozie, let me ask you a similar question. You are an accountant. 200,000 are just a little above $100, about $120 or thereabout. What can you do with that in our current economy?
Yes, that's a very good question. Let me start from where Mr. Emmanuel Atama actually stopped. He said something that really interests me. And what is that? Let's start small. The journey of a before we start talking about the millions, let's even see how far you can utilize the 200,000 naira being given to you. Yes, the value of the money is nothing to write home about, looking at the exchange rate. But then you must also appreciate the government alongside the Credicorp for that initiative. So it's for them to look at what kind of scale are you going for. This is just a make-up fund. It's not as if the fund will actually drive your business. So you have this one. It's not left for you as a core member to also save from your monthly allowance and also seek for support from family members and relatives to augment whatever shortfall you may have experienced. So to me, it's a welcome development. It's a starting point. So whatever may be shortfall can actually be augmented from another source. That's the way I look at it. But on the surface, yeah, 200,000 may not really go far, but it's a support fund to actually complement whatever you may have saved or whatever you may have actually obtained from other sources.
Do you think,
Thank you.
Ayozie, do you think this will in any way create a sense of financial independency among the core members?
Certainly, I do hope that. Yes, because if you look at the whole idea, the whole issue surrounding this thing is to actually inculcate a high-level financial discipline. Aside the issue of empowerment, aside the issue of job creation, is to also inculcate the virtues of financial discipline. Because if you look at the fund now, 200,000 being administered or being given to you with a single digit interest element, which means on monthly basis, you are expected to repay back that sum within the next 12 months. So to them, they know that, oh, I have something at stake. This money must be repaid back. So that idea actually inculcates a high-level financial discipline in them.
Indeed, a high-level financial discipline. Indeed. Mr. Emmanuel, let's also talk about the same thing. Do you think this will in any way fostering more like the culture of entrepreneurship and responsible credit among these core members, as in learning at this stage, although even there may be some of them who are already involved in business even while in school?
Yes, it's a good way to let them start thinking about the world they are about going into. Because coming from school, going to NYSC, as you are exiting, you know that you are hitting the world. You are going into practical things. So I think it will help them become more financially matured. But another aspect that it will also help them is if they are also saving. Because like I said earlier, if they took 200,000 and they are paying back and they are saving, let's say 5,000 every month, by the time they finish paying the 200,000, they have grown their savings, and that will make sure that maybe by then they can take 500,000, or they can even take up to $1 million. But the fact remains that for a credit to be responsible, it means that people also have to contribute to that credit, to know that this credit you are taking, I'm taking 1 million and I have 200,000 inside the 1 million I'm taking. So the exposure becomes much more lower. I tell you, Nigerians will go and support this program. You can even see some philanthropists saying they want to support this program to see how it will grow. So I think it will go a long way to make these people financially matured.
Indeed, how would this affect the rate of unemployment in the country? Of course, in more like engaging core members right from the camp. Do you think this will in any way affect or, drop the unemployment numbers that we have? Mr. Emmanuel?
Yes, you see, recently I spoke with the Labor Ministry, and I told them that the way we are approaching employment issues is not the way it's supposed to be. Because if you look at the regular civil servant, you discover that about 3-4 things distinguish them from other types of employment. Because they will tell you that because they have a steady income, they can have access to finance. They can go to the bank and say, I want to take like a cash advance. And they can always take it because the banks are always receiving their funds. The second issue is that they have pension, they have health care, and they also contribute to housing. And all those things I have mentioned, they are contributory schemes. So I'm of the opinion that when people like that are empowered, we should make sure that they are also enrolled in these contributory schemes. Once they are enrolled, you discover that whatever they are doing, no matter how small it is, becomes secured. And some of them will have that mind to say, what I'm doing, if on my own, I am doing this business and I'm already contributing to pension, I'm contributing to healthcare, I'm contributing to housing. And then because of my turnover and my bankable nature of business, I can always have access to finance, which is being provided by the Credicorp already. So I believe that this is going to be a big turnaround in the activities of the Credicorp. And I believe that employment is not only when I humbly apply and I'm given an employment letter, but your creativity needs to be supported with and incentivized by the social security network that I have mentioned. I believe that these are financial inclusion indices, and once we comply with it, our employment level will shoot up drastically in this country. Thank you.
Indeed, impressive. Dr. Ayozie, what kind of motivation do you expect to see from the prospective core members now, those who are still in school and they are hearing this information? What sort of motivation or action do you expect them to take, especially those who are unskilled?
Yes, no doubt. Those of them who are still in school will now begin to nurture ideas, begin to nurture dreams, knowing fully well that when there be youth service corps program, upon participation, they will be receiving a credit facility to the sum of 200,000 naira. So it's a motivational drive for the young ones out there, especially the ones at the graduating level, knowing fully well that in the next couple of months, when they're being mobilized for NYSC program, and with a lofty idea being nurtured into a dream, then the issue of startup fund will not be an issue. So they will be rest assured that upon mobilization, they have 200,000 naira waiting for them to assess, having met all that requirement. Because it's not just a fund that is open to every other person. You must also undergo some kind of digital training literacy program, and also show some level of financial maturity, as earlier expatiated by Mr. Emmanuel Atama. So it will be a driving force for potential core members.
Okay, let me give Mr. Emmanuel the last, of course, my last question. Let me ask him my last question. It's on sustainability. Are we going to see this beyond this administration? Or, I mean, we know how government policies are being, changes, how government policies change somehow. Do you think this is sustainable beyond this government?
The sustainability is in the cooperative model that I mentioned. Because if these people are formed into cooperatives, they are saving their stipends and they have taken the loan. What it means is that even if the credit core is not there, even if government has finished its tenure and the next government don't want to continue with it, a cooperative is already in place. So, and the cooperative will help to sustain it in the sense that funds have already been aggregated in terms of the savings and the loans, and they are already rolling over. So, for me, sustaining it is when the core members themselves are the drivers, while the NYSC as an institution is supervising to make sure that the right thing is done.
The right thing is done. Most thank you both gentlemen. Mr. Emmanuel Atama, Executive Secretary, Chief Executive Officer, National Cooperative Financing Agency of Nigeria. Thank you for your contributions on Business Daily. We appreciate. Dr. Kingsley Ayozie, accountant and of course a financial analyst, speaking to us all the way from Lagos. We appreciate your time on the show as well.
Thank you so much for having us.